Do 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 do. This is the show. What do you know? I guess that it's time that we should go. Welcome to the show.
That's the kind of energy we're bringing today.
It sounded like a
About like
funeral
that.
march.
It really sounded so bad.
Here we are to commemorate America. It was fun, y'all. Remember that time we colonized the shit out of it?
Oh
But its
God.
time as all fun things, it must come to an end. All the genocide, all the denial of rights, all those sorts of things. They must come to an end.
Are
Uh
they coming to an end? That would be
yeah, we're all
great.
moving. You didn't hear? Donald Trump just signed a thing
No.
where he sold America to
Oh,
Lockheed Martin.
excellent.
And
I
so
thought that
existing
that
citizens
happened
are all
a
moving to
long time
Finland.
ago.
So
See you guys when you come over here.
all of it, no, but it's all of us. All Americans are coming to Finland, and they're sending. I'm really sorry. You'll be excited because you'll see me soon, but that's because they're sending the South first.
Okay.
So, and then if Finland fills up with Southerners, American Southerners, then
They'll
we'll look
die
at
off
some
real
other
come winter.
countries.
It'll be over. It's
Oh,
fine.
but I'll be
It'll,
thriving.
you will love it.
I'll be fucking thriving.
The
Ask
darkest
Luthien
nights
about.
that never end and like minus 1,000,000 degrees and just snow everywhere.
Ask Luthien about me
And
thrashing around on nights because we can't get the AC below like 69. And I
mm,
was like, it's so hot. It's
ask me
so
about
hot right now.
having no AC at all.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. I was thinking about that earlier. Okay, let's see. Let's make the banner
Can we
patriarchy
make,
is bad.
oh, okay.
What do you want it to be?
Well, nobody ever calls on that. Let's try and see if they do. But
Have
I
we
was
ever
gonna
done that
say,
one?
like, yeah, we have. That people don't want to talk to a woman about things like about
But maybe it
women,
will,
I've
because I
noticed.
feel like you've done that with like Alyssa and others. Maybe it'll entice them that a man is here
Maybe,
co-signing.
maybe. Let's
It
try
does
it.
make it more
And then
legitimate in a
later,
way. All the
later,
feminist
I'm just gonna
movement needs
ignore.
is a
I'm just
man.
gonna ignore. If it doesn't work, then we could put something about like, should the US be a Christian nation or something like that.
Yeah, we can keep going from there. Guys, we don't do it that long, but welcome to Calling It Now. We'll be here for a couple of hours. You're overheating a little bit there. At night in Finland, I would have thought it dropped down to the like 60s even
But
during
the
the
sun
hottest
doesn't
months.
set. It does.
Oh,
It's usually not that hot. Like today is the hottest it's been since I've been here and it hit
right.
80 degrees. But the sun doesn't set. So like right now if I pull back the curtains, it's
There's
10
sun
p.m.,
in
but
the
it's
sky.
super bright outside. So that's
What is it
the
like
issue.
comparison to? Like if you were back in the South in America and it was about summertime, what time of night, like in the evening, would you compare the sun to right now? Is it like full on late afternoon or are you like,
Yeah.
is it evening level?
No, no,
It's like
no. For
full on.
example, the sun will set a little bit, not all the way, but it'll set a little bit around midnight. So just
Okay.
think about that as being like 7 p.m.
Something about the
So
way
right
you said,
now, if it's
for example, to me sounded like a Finnish person saying it in English. For example,
really,
for
I'm
example, we
actually
are right now, which I feel
I'm
like is
wondering,
you do use those types of like things more because it's a little bit people with second languages will use phrases like that more to start
yeah,
the language creation in their brain. For
I'm sure
example,
I'm gonna speak differently the longer I'm here. Already, like when you date someone, when you spend most of your time with somebody, you start speaking a little bit like them. So I think that's already happening.
I
And
think
then
I
now I'm
only
here.
infect. Luthien,
That makes
have I
sense.
picked up any Utah drawl from you?
I'm not aware of anything that I do or like say that's weird, so I don't know.
I don't say what's the one I always say you say a lot of? Just barely. Utahns say just barely for uh about time, right? Like something happened just barely. It just barely kind of like this just happened. They'll say just barely. Whereas like I would use just barely as like a quantity usually. It'd be like
Yeah,
there's a
same. That's
full
interesting.
cup of water, but just barely. There's just the dog got there fast enough, but just barely. Where they'll be like, Utahns will be like, oh, I just barely saw so and so at the park, or I just barely went to that
I
concert.
hate
And they
that.
could be referring
That
to
would
like months ago.
that would throw me off so
Is that
hard.
really
That's-
weird?
Yeah, well, no, it's just
Yes.
Utah. It's not nothing's
Really?
weird. It's just Utah.
Yes, by weird I mean I have never heard it used in that way. So to me, it would throw me off if I heard
Meg's
that.
in chat
That's
learning that
crazy.
this is local. Yeah, just barely is
Yeah,
and I've heard her friends use it. It is definitely a Utah thing.
That is fascinating.
Yeah. I have another friend who this actually was funny. She thought she picked it up from Utah. And surely it's the way and probably the way they don't talk about this word as much and then the way they say things. Guys, you can call and debate us if you want 336-543-2101. But I'll also Promise and I haven't chatted in a while. I fully don't give a fuck if we get a single
We're just
debater.
hanging out.
I will hang out with Promise. I give two shits.
Aw.
If you care more about people, we'd appreciate it if you would super chat because we do kind of still need calls to make money. Because they become clips and all that kind of stuff. So anybody who's here for the chat too, if you want to join mine and Promise's chat, we'll respond to super chats today. We'll respond to your questions that come in super chat form.
And then
Anyway,
I can learn how to use the thing that way. Okay, continue.
my friend, I think they don't. I don't know. Maybe they don't say the word sex as much in Utah, especially she grew up Mormon and stuff. But she. It's funny because I would tease her about it. And then she would act like I was saying she needs to change it or something. I'm like, no, I say button. Like, you must stick to this. But she would say the X in words. So it wasn't just sex, but she would say the X in word. We pronounce it like ECKS, right? X.
Right.
ECKS. Like,
Almost
text.
like EGGS. Yeah.
No, but that's weird. What?
Like
Eggs?
it's softer. It's somewhere between a G and a
That's
C,
a
like
x.
sex, eggs.
Okay, so you also say it wrong, but hers is funnier.
Continue.
She says XETTS. So she would be like, yeah, I sent you a text this morning.
Like the X is
My
silent.
ex-boyfriend.
That's not a Utah thing.
ETTS. No, I know. She grew up in Utah. So at first I was like, oh my God, is this a Utah thing? And then I checked in with the friends and she had never been called, like no one had ever told her this was the case. And I was like, you're conventionally attractive. Nobody was going to do anything. They thought I was criticizing you, I think. I don't know. In Utah, that wasn't important to them. They just wanted to get you married and with babies. And so it was this thing that I thought was a Utah thing at first. And then I went and checked and I was like, no, this is a purely you thing. But yeah, she's the only person I've ever heard pronounce it that way. And I'm like, do not stop pronouncing it that way. That's crazy.
Yeah, I like people's differences. I think it's fun. I don't even like to tell my
But
husband
just
when he
barely,
says
that is a
something
Utah thing.
wrong. I've never heard that before.
Just barely. Man, we just barely. Jovan and I did a show just barely. And that's the exact way, right? Like, Luthien, that
I
sounded
hear
perfectly
nothing wrong
normal,
with
right?
that.
Right.
That
I don't
sounds
I don't
so
understand the
wild to
issue.
me.
Like, I really don't.
No, it's not a
To
real
me, it sounds
issue.
like
It's just local.
To me, it sounds like something happened where the show almost didn't happen, and it just barely happened. Like you barely made it.
We just barely. Jovan and I got a show. Like we were on. We weren't sure it was going to happen. We weren't
You want
sure.
to see my new
Infidel
candy
says,
I
"I'll
just
chip in
got?"
to watch them catch up with each other." I guess this is me now. The thing that
Thanks,
you
Dale.
told us about book beforehand, are you allowed to share that yet?
No.
Is that knowledge? Okay,
No.
I won't.
No,
I won't. She's writing
Great,
my
thanks.
biography, guys.
Spoiler. Okay, but I was going to show you my candy. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying it right now for the first time. Have you heard of these peeler candies?
Pielas. No.
You peel the candy. So here's the candy.
Okay.
And you peel it. And
Oh,
there's
I don't
the
really
gummy,
like that.
and you eat the peel.
Oh, the peel's good too.
Yeah.
Is it pretty good without peeling it? Like, are they good together? Okay.
Yeah. It's two different
Okay.
textures though. It's really cool. It's like a
Yeah.
like very soft gummy on the inside and then more like
Yeah.
gummy
Entice me
worm
more with
material. I
foods I
don't know.
definitely can't eat, please.
Oh, sorry. It's
I'm
disgusting.
just kidding. I love hearing about the way the weirdest thing. Luthien, it's a total normal part of her life, like just barely. But to anybody else, the amount of like taking her hand with food in it and pulling it over so I can sniff it that I do, like
That's
inhale her food.
crazy.
I know, and it does look crazy. And yet, right, Luthien,
It
it's a normal
sounds
part of your life
really
now, right? It's
sad.
not weird anymore.
No, it's not weird.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
That
just
makes me sad for you.
I just miss food so much. I miss eating actual stuff
I
so
have like
much.
all these candies sitting here, and now I'm like, I'll try these later.
Yesterday I burped and she went, "Oof, that smelled like something." And I went, "Well, that something's either sirloin, potato chips, cholestyramine, or what was the fourth thing? Or dark chocolate, because that's it. That's all I've eaten for the last week. Today I'm going to switch from sirloin to chicken.
What's something you don't like? Do you like spicy food?
God, I miss it so much.
Oh, okay.
Love
Never.
spicy food.
I'm not
Vegetables,
gonna
though, to
tell
answer
you.
your questions, especially uncooked
Actually,
vegetables, disgusting.
okay.
It's
Well,
like
I was
just
gonna,
eating the ground.
yeah. Yeah. I
Ugh.
mean, fair enough if they're not seasoned well.
But to tell you the truth, by
Um,
now, who
you
knows?
would
If
eat
somebody
it.
was
You
like,
would eat a
if
radish
someone's like,
straight out of the earth.
you can't eat any food. However, this food will actually, you won't even know you ate it. There's
Hmm.
probably a lot more foods I would eat now, having had, now I'm like going on 3 years with such a restricted diet. Maybe two. I think I'm at about 2 years right now of
Mm.
such a restricted, like, you can't eat anything diet that it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I feel like it's at least been 2 years. Very
Yeah.
sad. I was gonna
Yeah.
complain about this really sad snack story that happened to me, but now I feel like it will pale in comparison, so but I can tell you
No,
anyways.
I mean, we gotta say something.
I Okay, so m moving to another country, like you have to get used to all the different food and everything. And so there's a lot of my favorite snacks that they don't have here. So now I'm learning new favorite snacks. And I finally came across one where I was like, oh my God, this is one of the best snacks. Like this is going to be my new hyperfixation, like a safe food where I just always love it. And it's this chili butter popcorn. I'll show you.
I think you've
Give
told me
them a
about.
free ad.
Oh no, you didn't. You didn't. But yeah, that's
Okay,
cool.
so I was super excited. And I post about it on Instagram. I tag them and everything. They're like, love it. And they failed to tell me that they had just discontinued it. So it doesn't exist anymore. So I just went and bought like the last 6 bags of it. I have them sitting here. We've looked for it in every store we can, but they
Do you know
discontinued
what
it. So
I would have done that with? I would have bought in bulk and frozen if I could have. And by the way, there are going to be some people who are about to find out something was discontinued. Let me double check they haven't brought them back since I haven't had to look in a while. There's something that was discontinued. Yeah, no, they're still gone. They're still gone. Something that was discontinued, at least in mass distribution. It looks like you can still kind of like order some. Oh, they've added it as a flavor to a different multi-pack. But watermelon gushers used to be you could buy just packs of watermelon gushers.
they're so good.
Discontinued. Now it looks like they're trying to do a watermelon gusher and sour apple multi-pack. Maybe that's okay. That could be okay. I like sour apple. That might, but I gotta tell
But the
you,
watermelon,
I cleared whole boxes of watermelon gushers. That's a thing that happened, and I'm not proud of it. But I also don't. I reject your judgments. I don't give a shit.
I don't judge you for that at all. Look at this one. Isn't it cute? The little strawberry.
Yeah,
I wonder if this
yeah.
one, does it peel?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's peeling.
Ugh. There is
It's
something
pretty,
unsettling about the peeling part.
peeling a strawberry.
Yeah. It just
But look,
it seems less like a banana skin when it's something like that and more like
yeah,
you're peeling an eyeball or something.
it kind of has that
Hey, I
vibe
think you would
going.
like the show From. You should try that out. We just caught up on it. It's like a horror show, kind of, from the people who made
I
Lost.
hate horror.
Oh, somebody's going to clip that and they're going to, because it sounded like you said you hate horror.
Okay, clip
Horror
it. That's
has
fine.
2 syllables, you know?
I was chewing a gummy that
Yeah,
had
that's fine.
2 textures.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I get it. What
What are
are the
those
two
things that you use
textures?
to fasten your shirt together?
My shirt is a t-shirt. I don't need to fasten it.
Any shirts, people's
A
shirts
bolo
in
tie?
general. Never mind.
Oh, you mean zippers?
Who comes up with that?
Like a zipper?
Everyone knows exactly what word I'm trying to get you to
Necktie.
say.
I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
the one.
It's getting a little cold in here. I might need some mittens.
See, there we go. There we go.
I like wearing mittens when I go up to the mountains.
What do you call a baby cat?
Kitten?
That's very cute.
Kitten's kind of like, I feel like while people have their issues with button, most people do prefer kitten. Especially people who want to be called it, which I don't do, but people like kitten as a pet name. You've not heard of this?
Do they? I don't think so.
First of all,
just barely.
Amongst furries, big time. But even amongst non-furries.
Well, of course.
Like, you okay, kitten? That's like a normal, people call each other that name.
Okay, well, I guess that I'm weird.
Is that more for kids or lovers, actually? I don't know. Come on, kitten. I don't know. It is a little bit weird. I know that it's innocuous. This isn't suggesting that anything like weird is happening, but it is a little weird that we use the same pet names for our romantic partners as children. You know what I mean? Like if
I don't know that I do that.
Yeah, parents definitely do. If a parent's daughter comes over like, babe, come here, babe, or honey, sweetie pie, sugar lumps. Maybe not sugar lumps. Don't call your kids sugar lumps. That's odd. Oh my
God.
That's an odd thing. Sugar pie, honey lumps. I love you. I don't know. I feel like we should be more creative and we should sequester our pet names. Don't get me wrong. There definitely are ones that are exclusive for adults. If somebody calls their kid sexy, like take them to the, I almost said a different remedy. Take them to prison. Put them on a bus.
Oh my God.
And drop that bus somewhere.
Somebody call and tell us if Christianity is good for us or not.
Someone did. Do you want to look at the tool, by the way? I want you to see this, that it works.
Oh, yeah.
So check this out. Watch what happens when you click answer to the banner at the center.
Wait, where is it?
It's at the top under the caller queue.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just hit answer?
Yeah. And then watch
you do the talking. Okay.
Sure. Jacob in California. You are on the line with Jimmy and Promise. Wasn't that cool? It did it all by itself.
Beautiful. Well done.
Jacob, you there?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, sorry.
It's all good. Okay? What's up? Yeah.
Not too much. Just on my lunch break at work, and I like to watch some debates on YouTube, and I saw you guys on, so
cool.
Thought I would call in for fun. Yeah.
All right. When you say for fun, though, you do hold the position you're calling into debate. You're not like LARPing, right?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you're calling in to claim that Christianity is good. That is your actual position, or you are wanting to just devil's advocate debate?
I would say that is my actual position, but I also, before I waste too much time on the air, I do want to ask, does that mean any form of Christianity, like anything that is because I would say that I don't
tell us. I would
ask conservative form. Yeah.
But I would ask you, so if you're a Christian, I would say, why do you think that Jimmy and I should want to be Christians, for example?
Well, I don't see that's part of why I'm asking this too, because I won't even say necessarily you have to be Christian in my view.
Jacob, then you're not very Christian. So what you're asking, let me real quick, Jacob, let me answer your first question again.
Because what is your guys' definition of Christian? That's why I didn't want to
I want to answer your first question kind of again about what kind of Christianity or whatever. For me, all types of Christianity are harmful. In fact, all faith traditions are harmful, all of them. Mm-hmm. But they are on a gradient. They are on a list of priorities. Sure. Some are worse than others. And the more that the more that a Christian rejects the foundations of Christianity, the better they tend to be as people, and the less I am worried about them. So I don't put any effort. I mean, if Promise and my mutual friend April came onto the podcast, I'd find something to debate with her about. But she's a progressive Christian and a lovely person. And so I don't talk to her with the same urgency that I talk to a MAGA Christian, for example. Sure. And so when you say like, I don't even consider Christianity, like I don't even actually feel like you need to be Christian. Okay, but then you are denying the biblical foundation and very words of Jesus when you say that. You're basically saying when Jesus said, no one gets to the Father but through me, you're saying that's not true. It's not important. Well,
I would say I don't hold that truth to the same way a conservative Christian would. I would say I don't view that the same way. I would say that I point to verses like in 1 John where it says that anyone that loves knows God and is born of God, as proof that you don't need to literally know who Jesus Christ is to have been following him. I say that that's a form of love because God is love. And that's why I wanted to establish this beforehand, because I don't want us to kind of just, like you said, where it's almost like it's not really a big enough deal to even talk about it, I guess, if that makes sense.
Well, can I ask you, Jacob, do you think that Christianity is true? Like, do you think there was actually, that Jesus was sent by God, that he died on the cross and was resurrected? Do you think all of that is true?
Are you guys familiar with John Cobb or Alfred North Whitehead?
We will answer that once you're done answering the question. We really hate the question with a question, unless it's like a question that obviously demonstrates the answer, not a general knowledge thing.
Well, the reason I was asking that is because if you guys were familiar, then that would have helped me explain it a little bit better. But I would say that no. I would say what I believe so Alfred North Whitehead's view is what I agree with. It's like a form of panentheism where it's God is the universe, but also he's more than the universe. And I believe that almost
similar to
Do you believe
Jesus Christ came to earth and was, we don't really care about the God behind it all. Do you believe Jesus Christ came to earth and died for our sins and was resurrected?
Not literally, no.
So you're not a Christian at all. Like, that's fundamentally to be a Christian. You could say you're a cultural Christian. You could say that's
your definition of a Christian.
No. You're trying to like reverse true Scotsman me, but words do have meanings and definitions. So it's not no true Scotsman to say like you do have to believe in Jesus Christ.
That's actually not even true. There are actually ordained pastors that don't believe Jesus is God.
Right, and they're not Christians. I'm an ordained pastor, not of Christianity.
In your definition, but in Christianity,
Jacob,
there are ordained pastors.
I'll tell you, I don't really care. I'm happy for you to, like, if you consider yourself a Christian, for me, that's enough. I don't really care. I guess my question would be, what do you think is good about your belief that makes it better than not holding this belief that you have? Like, what is there that
I could talk about
that your version of Christianity has to offer that I don't have as an atheist?
I'm coming back to the definitions when you're done.
I would say that I don't necessarily have something objectively better than what you have, but I would say subjectively, as someone that has also held the view of atheism, I personally would say I have more purpose. I have more, and it does have to go kind of into like what I was talking about of what I believe God is ultimately.
How would you know that?
The Whiteheadian philosophy.
Well, can
you? Forget the new stuff. You just said you do believe you have more purpose. Could you demonstrate? Could you make an argument to Promise and I that you possess more purpose than she and I do?
No, but that's what I
think he's saying that he felt that he had. I
think he said subjectively you do.
I feel like I've had more purpose, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's objectively true. I literally said
because you were saying
I felt more purpose.
I actually think we have to.
And I would.
Sorry, Promise. We have to very briefly go back to definitions. I promise I'll be brief. I now need
I
to
have a
know what
definition
is
issue too, because
what
the
is
atheist worldview thing.
Sure.
I want to know what you mean by that.
after. But first, you're still using the framing of Christianity. What is, because you kept doing the, well, by your definition. I now need your definition of Christianity. That includes
I would say
it being important to believe in Jesus Christ.
I would say that my because if we really like go down to like definitions, then it's going to be everyone's going to have a different definition. If you go into a Baptist church, they're going to say you need to
I don't
believe
need
in
a lecture on
inerrancy and you need to
definitions.
believe in
I
the
understand how
Trinity.
definitions work. I assume that you have
I
a
don't-
definition,
dude, why are
especially
you
since
so
you've been
rude,
mentioning
man?
philosophy.
I don't understand.
I'm not being, excuse me. This is not
You
rude.
are. I
This
could
is
leave
keeping you.
if we can't
Okay,
just talk. We're
okay,
having a fun
okay.
conversation.
I'm sorry.
I don't mind leaving.
Jacob, I'm going to pause you here. The reason we can't just talk is you didn't call into a just talk show. You called into a debate show, and that debate show has a topic to stay on. And you are going off on asides, and you are not using time efficiently. We're attempting to use time efficiently. If you want to just talk, call your mom. We're not a just talk show. So I don't need a lecture about what definitions are. You definitely haven't watched this show if you thought that was me being whatever word you used there. So Jacob, you can say everyone will have their own individual definition. I'm not asking for that one. You're saying that you have a coherent definition of Christianity that you fall under. It should be a definition that there is some consensus with, whether it's from philosophy or another group that you belong to. If you are saying that the only definition you can give us of Christianity is only applicable to you, then essentially we know we're wasting time on a person whose entire argument will be an equivocation fallacy. If we just grant that only Jacob's Christianity is a form of Christianity. So we want a definition that anchors what you are calling Christianity that has any amount of consensus to it, not a Jacob-only definition. I promise you, if when I unmute you in a moment, you instead try to talk about the quality of the conversation, whether or not you're getting to just talk, just chill, just hang out, whether or not you think I'm rude, I promise you if the next words out of your mouth are about that, I will just hang up and go back to catching up with Promise. I don't care about your notes on how the conversation runs. So, Jacob, your definition of Christianity, that is not a one-off only you definition.
Well, first off, I do want to say that census, millions of people hold the same definition. So
Excellent.
I
So
don't
what
even
is that
know
definition?
What you're talking about. And that is just following Jesus for your life and thinking he was a good example as a human being.
Following Jesus for your life and thinking he is a good example of I'm writing it down to make sure I have it. Okay. That is a definition that you are asserting a lot of people believe. I think it is a lazy and unuseful definition, especially considering what the utility of, thank you, that I wasn't done with my, considering what the utility of being called a Christian is. However, at least we now have the words. And if you now speak on it and branch out of that in any way, we'll be able to go, oof, sorry, we have your rigid definition. That doesn't work. So now, Promise had a question about a definition of something with atheism. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just curious. I want to make sure I get this right. So were you saying that I think you said you used to have an atheist view. And is that what you said?
I would say that I considered myself an atheist at one point.
Okay, what did that mean for you?
For me personally, and like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say I have any objective knowledge on anything, not even that I exist. That I have a hard time doing.
Yeah, no, I'm genuinely just curious. I'm genuinely just curious when you told people, I'm an atheist, what were you trying to communicate when you said that? Like when I say I'm an atheist, what that means is I don't believe any gods exist. And that's all that it means. So that's what I'm just asking you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, that was exactly what I would say my belief was when I called myself atheist. was that
You mean a
I
lack of
didn't
belief?
believe in a
You just
God.
you didn't believe
I
in
would
gods.
also
Okay.
I would add to that too. I would say that also that because there is no God, there isn't an objective purpose for my life. There was subjective purpose for my life, but not an objective purpose for my life.
Wait, do you now feel that you have an objective purpose?
I would say that I feel like my subjective purpose is closer to truth than it was as an atheist. Like I feel that way. I feel like when I was an
What is
atheist,
your subjective purpose?
Currently what I feel like it is?
Yes.
To just become I guess how I feel my purpose has been is I feel, going back to like what I was saying with my philosophy earlier, like the Whiteheadian philosophy, is that we all are one existence together. The plants, the animals, all living things, we all are together in this physical universe, and that my purpose is to help in any way I can to take care of this world that is precious. And I didn't feel that way as much as an atheist because I just viewed it as one day I'm going to die, and one day everyone I love was going to die. And no one
of course you didn't feel that way as an atheist. Atheism doesn't offer you purpose.
Yeah.
Why would you have felt that way as an atheist? However, I'm a secular humanist, and when you say that your purpose you feel is closer to truth, I also feel like my purpose is to help improve the world, take care of the world in whatever ways I can contribute. But when you say you root that in some version of Christianity, I got to tell you, I think secular humanism, since secular humanism says anchor it to reason, compassion, empathy, logic, materialism, never advocate for supernatural. There's no mucking up. I don't have to worry as a secular humanist about, I want to make the world a better place. I'm sorry. I'm not finished speaking.
No, I
want to make a world a better place. How do I reason that with whoever believes in the Son has eternal life, but whoever rejects the Son will not see life? For God's wrath remains on them. I don't have to worry about, how do I make sure other people who call themselves Christian know that verse doesn't really apply? I can just worry about what is actually logical, reasonable, what actually helps humans to thrive, what reduces harm, what prevents suffering.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Have I made any supernatural claims yet?
I didn't actually say you made any supernatural claims, so you were listening and you heard a word. I'm sorry, I'm not done.
Yeah.
First of all, yes, fundamentally you did make a supernatural claim because earlier you advocated for deism, and your supernatural claim of a God existing at all is a supernatural claim. I didn't actually claim you did. What I described was not whether or not you accept the supernatural, because I've taken your Christian argument and your definition of Christianity and granted to you, despite the fact that I don't think it is coherent or at least worthy of being called Christian, and explained why by anchoring secular humanism with the identical purpose, having the identical purpose to you and anchoring it to secular humanism instead of Christianity, I don't have to deal with, one, the problems with Christianity, and two, the problems of there aren't secular humanist Nazis who are anchoring their Nazism in secular humanist manifestos. It's impossible. But there are Christian Nazis. And so when a person like you calls in to say, no, Christianity is good, it's not bad, but what I mean by Christianity is not the theological way Christianity is actually expressed and practiced by people. I mean my Jacob definition, which is secular humanism, but with a Christian wrapper on it that is cherry-picked out things like John 3:36. I'm sorry, I reject that this is a preferential. Jacob, you're adding extra work when you would be simply better off being a secular humanist, even if you privately believed in pantheism.
Well, I'm pretty sure the debate topic wasn't, is secular humanism better than Christianity? I thought it was if Christianity is bad or not.
Right. And then you wanted to use a special use definition, so I wouldn't really. I really wouldn't. I'm sorry. I'm still not done talking. I wouldn't complain about the way the conversation has had to shift, because you're not here to defend Christianity. You're here to defend Jacobism Christianity.
Well, this is exactly why I tried to ask it right at the beginning so that you didn't feel this way. Because
I'm sorry that you are having difficulty maintaining the debate when it had to get pushed this direction to somewhere.
I don't understand. I'm not even talking, dude. It's just you talking the whole time.
Goodbye, Jacob.
You keep interrupting.
It's not true. You gotten to talk plenty, and you just want to complain about the conversation. I'm done. I don't give a shit. You're just talking, man. You're just talking. You're literally sitting here complaining because you want to talk about a specific form of Christianity that only applies to you. And then when that is challenged, and it is pointed out that even your version of Christianity is bad, because literally my position here is what you're doing is inferior for negative reasons because of, like, Christian Nazism. It has all of that baggage, therefore bad. Just be a secular humanist, drop all the bad baggage. Oh, I didn't want to have a debate about whether secular humanism was better than my only Christianity. If you can't stick with the conversation when it goes to actually productive places, don't call in. I do not care about your notes about whether or not how you feel the show is going. I don't care at all about it.
Also, Jesus sucks. Like, if you're going to base your life off of another human, pick somebody like Mr. Rogers or something. Jesus was not that great at all, actually. He was kind of a shitty human being. And
an apocalypse preacher.
And he was racist, and he was a thought police. He wanted you to, basically gouge out your eye if you even had a thought about somebody else.
What's the verse about if you don't hate your family?
Yeah, it's better to hate your follow me and hate your family, basically.
I'll pull up the exact one.
If you don't, there's two, I think. But I'll let you pull the whole thing up. Anyways, Jesus is not a great person to base your life off of, which is what I would have gotten into, because there's plenty of other people that if I have to pick, first of all, if I have to pick one.
I just went back to Matthew. It's not. It's Luke 14.
I have the verse. You want me to grab it real quick?
I think it's is it Luke 14? No. Why am I not remembering this?
I will tell you.
I pull this verse up so much.
It's Luke 14:26.
Oh, what did I say? Luke 14:6. Okay, 26. I'm also using Bible Gateway, and so if you don't put in the exact numbers, I could have just done Luke 14 and not try to go to the one verse. Okay.
14:26.
Yeah, it's funny how Jesus, if all you do is accept, Jesus seems great if you accept first the premise that he's perfect. Therefore, him saying things like, only if you accept me will you go to heaven. It's like, oh, well, if he's perfect, that's great. If he's not, he's just an apocalyptic preacher and God doesn't exist and the guy still said it, then he's Trump. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, then it's just narcissistic ramblings of when other cult leaders do that. And if you don't believe in me, you're off to hell. You don't accept them. It only is good
if you don't hate your own family, then you don't really love me.
Right. If you first accept that he is perfect in God, that it's like Mormonism. Mormons will be like, well, you know what? If it turned out to not be true, I would have still lived a good life as a good person. And I'm like, how do you believe that? Of course that's not true. What? You think you're a good person as a Mormon if Mormonism isn't true? Living life as a good Mormon, if it's not true, makes you a terrible person. You do lots of terrible things, but because you feel experiences of love and positivity and community affirmation when you do those terrible things, like funding political hate of queer people, like telling trans people and queer people when they come into your churches, you can be those things. Just don't ask anybody to use your pronouns. Do not actually physically transition. Do not ask for any kind of recognition. Do not have sex with gay people. You can still get married and force yourself to have straight sex that you don't want to. And then and God, I just love Jesus. But remember that time when he said, when large crowds were traveling with Jesus and turning to them, he said, if anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brother and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. I mean, what a guy. What a guy. And fucking homeboy over there wanted to call in. I already forgot his name. Jacob. I only know it because it's on the thing. Jacob wanted to call in and be like, Christianity is good. I don't adopt a single verse of the Bible I don't want to. And in reality, I have some other thing. Like, this is the problem with Jacob. Jacob has a cherry-picked version of the Bible. So what is he using to choose what to cherry-pick? He doesn't believe in Holy Spirits. He doesn't believe in Holy Ghost. He is using some form of reason, some form of logic, presumably some form of compassion, some form of empathy. Again, all values of secular humanism, and saying, but let's wrap it up in this package that most people who accept that label, accept that package. Most people doing that are not doing it my way. And you've had terrible fucking things like the Nazis, like the Crusades, and just in general. Literally, did you see Hemet Mehta posted today? That church, there's a Christian church where they were doing demonstrations, like plays of executing like non-believers or some shit, literally with fake guns. And the kids are there going like, burn them, shoot them, burn them, shoot them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You have to go look.
See any of that.
You actually should watch it right now and do like a live react. We'll get to this caller here in just a second. But this thing is fucking crazy. Where did I see him post?
I think the other thing that's odd to me is I like personally, I still don't get it because Jesus is so lame to me at this point. But I don't understand why take the title of Christian and say that you're following Jesus. Like, why not just be like, yeah, Jesus is one of the stories that I have personally found some meaning in. I don't believe any of it's true. But you know, I like his stuff. I like this other guy's stuff. Like, why? I don't understand why, if it is meaningful to you and you do use it as some kind of something, whatever. I don't care about that. I don't understand why it's now a faith and why it's now something that you're taking on a label of when it could just be like some other story that you find meaning in, which is fine. I have a bunch of those.
We've already done it before with the word faith. Then people call in and they're like, but you have faith in doctors. Nope, you're changing what faith means. And your Christianity definition is not an accepted definition. It is a one-off use definition.
You would like my section in my book on that word. I have a little rant in there.
No, I read it. You literally lifted it out of one of my rants. It's one of mine.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Why didn't you attribute it to me, though, is the thing. The whole book is just
read my book and then you can complain.
Why did you just transcribe old episodes of Dear Mr. Atheist and that's your book? I'm so mad about it. I'm glad you didn't. That would be such a trash book.
Do you know that I was actually I've never watched your old content and I was trying to go watch some of it the other day. And I couldn't find it, and I was so upset. Well, I guess some of it's gone, but I forgot that you went by Mr. Atheist.
Oh yeah,
so I'm just like, Jimmy Snow, where the fuck are you? Like I know this.
Why did you try to find the old stuff?
Because I never seen it. I just wanted to.
Have you ever seen my first episode?
No.
So I released my first 3 episodes. I released on the same day. I started the whole thing on a Thursday. I believe it was Valentine's Day in 2019, maybe?
Oh my God.
2018, 2019? Why? What are these reactions you're having?
Just the memory that you have about this is wild.
That day was important to me also for another reason, but it's not one I'm public about. So, but it was an important day in the story and life of Jimmy Snow.
Got it.
And let's see.
No, you're gonna hate this. The only content of yours I knew before coming on the line was Twitter. I knew you as the guy on Twitter.
I'm gonna send you the picture of the first 3 thumbnails.
Okay, I'm excited.
And then I'll probably give you links to them if you want to watch them. But the first one was called "Why Do All Atheists Hate God?" The second one was "What Kind of Atheist Are You?" Which is funny because I probably don't agree with all of the definitions given in that now. Like broadly I do, but I probably would have communicated them differently. And then the last one was what is the point of a show about atheism? And then the one that was like the next week's episode was the episode that contributed to like my breakout. In fact, I'll show you now with the views. It was a debunk of the allow me to destroy evolution in 3 minutes. I've been sending you these things on Threads because I also sent you we've got that call there. God. I want you to watch the viral video of the church staging fake execution during, during Vacation Bible School. You got to go see it. It's fucking.
I'm opening it. Should I have the
bizarre.
sound playing or should I mute myself?
I don't care. Do whatever your heart
Okay.
tells you.
Okay.
You probably do want the audio. It's fucking wild.
Okay. Hang on.
Yeah.
Trying to.
I'll read
open
out the
this.
caption. I'm going to read the article from Hemet to people while we do it. This is American Christianity for you, though. In a bizarre, disturbing scene that's gone viral on TikTok, a church appeared to stage a fake execution of a man involving realistic-looking guns and military uniforms during Vacation Bible School. As the man is being murdered, the children are cheering in unison, "Take him out, blow him up." The military men then take the body outside, out of view, where it is suggested by the pastor they're going to blow him up. The church was first posted, blah, 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 blah. Hang on. Took place at Mount Olivier Baptist Church in Lexington. Backdrop of the clip matches the backdrop seen in other images of the church. The church was trying to show how sin needed to be destroyed, which is why all the kids and their parents seem to go along with the cosplay and paintball guns, but still, what the hell is wrong with everyone involved in this potentially traumatizing charade? But anyway, leftists and atheists, we're the violent ones. We're the violent ones.
That's crazy. Also, what's sad
legitimately.
is that's not very far from things that I experienced in my
Yeah,
evangelical kids vacation Bible school stuff. We were doing the whole like pretend there's a school shooter that shows up even though we're all homeschooled and they're going to shoot you if you don't say yes, I believe in God. The whole like practicing to be a martyr thing. That's wild. Right. That's gross.
We're going to bring on Jennifer. Jennifer from Oklahoma. You are on the line with Jimmy and Promise, calling in, claiming that Christianity is extreme, but atheism is also extreme, arguing with each other to prove the other wrong. Two sides of a coin. So, Jennifer, my first question for you. You and I already know examples of extreme Christian beliefs. Could you give me what a single example of an extreme atheist belief?
I studied atheism maybe 10 or 20 years ago. I really don't.
I'm so sorry. I
I
have to interrupt first, Jennifer, real quick. Can you also tell me what you think atheism means, like a definition for atheism? Because I can't imagine studying atheism beyond one sentence. So I'm eager to hear this.
Well, I think it is. The reason why is that when I first start kind of studying it, listening to atheists, to me, what they actually study, and I could be wrong, you study a lot just to prove that Christians are wrong.
No, but Jennifer, I'm asking you, Jennifer, my question is how do you define atheist?
How do I define an atheist as someone who do not believe in God and do not believe in any type of creation, or you kind of believe in the big boom, and I could be wrong. But that's kind of what
So Jennifer, an atheist is just somebody who doesn't believe any gods exist. It is not somebody that necessarily cares about science. It's not necessarily somebody that's progressive. It's not necessarily somebody that even cares about religion or talks about religion.
Or believes in the Big Bang, like you said. You don't even have to believe in the Big Bang to be an atheist.
So you happen to be talking to two people that did grow up religious. And so that's why that comes up for us, because we're not just atheists. We are, in my case, I'm an ex-evangelical atheist. So there's more to me that causes me to have conversations that somebody who is maybe just an atheist, not that there is such a thing, would say, if that makes sense.
Jennifer, the issue you're running into is you're describing studying atheism. There is no atheism to study. It's an answer to one question. And so I need to know more about what you mean by you studied atheism, because it seems like you studied other things you associated with atheism.
Okay, so atheists do not have a written book. You're right. It's nothing that I can go and study. I can listen to other atheists and kind of get it from there. You don't have a written book. I mean, I think you mentioned that you wrote a book. What I'm trying to say is that you don't have scriptures. You don't have,
ideology.
It's just, to me. Yes.
We don't have a unified ideology.
You do?
No, we don't.
No,
we don't have a unified ideology. We all answer one question the same way.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm comparing it to is, Christians and other religion, they have a book. they have a prophet that they follow. You know, they have the rules and that. What I'm saying is atheist is just an atheist who don't believe in any God. And that's
right.
what I believe.
But you describe them as
so
also extreme.
What you're building your facts off of is arguing against Christianity and any other religion.
Totally incorrect. So Jennifer, what you're suggesting is is that my starting point is Christianity is wrong. So I'm going to go just search for things that debunk Christianity.
Right.
That is totally incorrect.
Exactly.
All I care about.
Okay.
And first of all, Jennifer, to be clear, by the way, as far as calls go, I know this is probably a normal, polite conversation thing. So don't take this as an insult or anything. Saying and like and the agreement words, as far as like audio on calls go, it's actually better just to not say anything or use them way less. It's not better to do it just interferes with sound too much. Anyway, because there's auto ducking and all that kind of stuff. So Jennifer, it also just distracts me when you're describing that not all atheists are activists. In fact, most atheists aren't activists. Most atheists are just living their lives. So describing atheism as extreme in that way already doesn't make sense. You clearly are interested in atheist activists. And if you're calling us, we're atheist activists, but our first priority would be something more like secular humanism. Now, we don't go then and look for information to debate Christians with. We go and we look for the truth. I don't care what form the truth comes in, as long as it is true and it can demonstrate to be true. So the reason why I argue with Christianity is, one, it can't meet the standard of being true. And I believe that it is harmful for a person to believe untrue things. So not only can it not meet the standard of demonstrating it is true, it also does meet the standard of demonstrating that it is false. And so I am not, when you're describing it as an extreme, the reason why Christianity is an extreme is Christianity seeks to control people's actions with untrue information. Atheism seeks no such thing. Even secular humanism doesn't. Secular humanism tries to give people a framework by which to assess decisions they are making about morality, about each other, and say, do your best to reduce harm, to be a good person, to help other people, also to take care of yourself, and embrace those things that actually show those things, truth that actually go to that end. So Jennifer, what I think you are thinking is you have seen Christians who their whole thing is Christianity is true and anything that that challenges it is bad. Therefore, I must be ready to fight them. And I have to be ready to fight them, ready to defend things that are untrue as though they are true. And you think that somebody that would oppose it would have to be the same thing, just in another form. Sure, Muslims have to be that way. Hindus have to be that way. Mormons have to be that way. But an individual who their only priority is, I will accept whatever is true, no matter what that truth is, isn't that way. And so I'm not motivated by fighting Christianity, because guess what, Jennifer? I'd fight a Muslim, a Mormon, any of those people I just described who called in. I am motivated fighting for that which is true and can be shown to be true. Does that help clear up your misconception, or do you disagree?
It helps a little bit, yes. But I guess what is an atheist's main purpose? I've never seen it. I mean, and you know,
there is no purpose. There's none.
Atheism, you're good human beings, and you know you.
So Jennifer, can I try to explain a little bit? Jennifer, let me explain a little bit of this to you. Okay. The reason I say I'm an atheist is as an answer to when I hear all these people saying, I'm a theist, I believe in a God. And then they go further and they say which God they believe in, Christian God, Muslim God, whichever God it is. And my response is, I'm not any of that. I'm an atheist. I am not a theist. It doesn't tell you anything else about me. It's not supposed to have a point to it. It's just me being honest and saying, I don't fall into the category of a believer. I am not a believer. And so there's a lot of other things that you would have to ask me in order to know anything else about me. It's just kind of like me saying I have brown hair, except it's me letting you know about a position that I hold in my head. So it's me just being honest and communicating that. So atheism is not supposed to offer any kind of meaning or purpose. It's not supposed to offer any kind of morality or anything like that. You have to ask each individual atheist where, do they have meaning and purpose in life? Where did they get it from? All of those kinds of questions, because that's going to be different from person to person. And saying you're an atheist is not the same as saying you're a Christian. It's like comparing apples and, I don't know, cucumber. It's just completely different.
No, those are too comparable.
Cucumber.
And the reason why, the reason why
More like an apple in a
interested in
chair.
your conversation. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
Okay, yes. The reason why is that because I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not any of them. I'm whatever. I'm just
what
absolutely are you? I'm just human. I'm just a mere human being.
No. Right, but humans a species, so it's a different thing. Here's a simple yes or no question that'll help us. And it's the one, and we're trying to get to that. It should be this simple. Do you believe that there is a God which exists somewhere?
I believe if there is a God. I believe there's several gods. I don't believe. I don't want to call it
as long
God.
as you believe in at least one God. Okay. Do you believe in at least one God, or?
I believe it's billions of gods, just like it's billions of human beings.
Right. So you would be a theist then. You're not an atheist. You are a theist.
I'm not that either.
Yes, you are. I'm sorry. It's like. Do you have?
This is what I want to say, and this is why.
Hang on, Jennifer. Just hang on. I want to, because you're still putting weight on these words they don't deserve. Do you have short or long hair?
I have short hair.
Okay. Are you a woman? You are a woman, correct?
Yes.
So you are a short-haired woman. That is an objective fact. If somebody else had your length of hair and was a woman, and you said you're a short-haired woman, and they said no, I'm not a short-haired woman, would you be like, oh, okay, I just accept then that you're not a short-haired woman? These words have meaning.
Yes.
You are a theist because the definition of a theist is just someone who believes in at least one God, and you believe in many gods. Therefore, you're a theist.
I don't know if I want to put that label on myself because it keeps me in a box, and that's something I will not allow to do. And the reason why is that I have to argue with the Christians in my family
I have
that I'm not an atheist.
I have brown hair. But Jennifer, I have brown hair. It is what it like. I'm just being honest by saying I have brown hair. I'm an atheist, whether I like that label or not. Even if I say I'm not going to tell anybody anymore that I'm an atheist, I hate the label, which, by the way, I used to say this. It is still a fact that I don't believe any gods exist, and it is a fact, unless you're lying to us, that you believe gods do exist. So that makes you a theist, and it makes me an atheist. And the only reason this matters is just in this conversation, it helps us to be able to share information, so we can continue a dialogue where we both know different things about each other's position and what we think about the world.
I have to argue with people that's Christian that I'm not an atheist, because when I tell them I do not believe in a God, they throw me in the atheist box. And I feel, no, I'm not that. Because
Jennifer,
I don't know how to defend. Yeah.
Jennifer, the thing that you're upset they did to you, you did to us at the beginning of this call. So what you have to do is participate. Hang on, I'm not done. You need to participate in a culture that goes, you don't get to add to the definitions. When I tell you I believe in many gods, you don't get to decide that because you're a theist, you decide who is and isn't and what that means. And so you tried to tell us about atheism that you studied, and it had nothing to do with atheism because you seek to add words, to add definitions to labels. And we were sitting here telling you not only do your definitions not work, even the definition of atheist activist, you have misconstrued through a theistic lens. Like legitimately, you're calling in to act like you're more reasonable and stuff, and you use the most Christian propaganda definition of atheism that exists, that we are just motivated counter-Christians.
You're on the other end of a Christian. That's it.
You said the other extreme. No, you said the
But,
other
okay,
extreme,
you're not
and there
extreme,
isn't
but
a
you're
single
just-
extreme.
Okay, so if you take a line or take a poll, you're going to be on that other end of what a Christian is.
Nope.
They're
Nope.
trying to argue
Incorrect.
that it is a God, and you're
Incorrect.
trying to argue that it's
Incorrect.
not. That's
Jennifer,
it. That's what I'm
Jennifer,
saying.
hang on a second.
Yes.
Atheist in a poll would be
Mhm.
on the other end of an atheist versus theist poll. If you take just
okay.
Christianity, it would be Christianity versus non-Christian, of which we would be joined by billions of non-atheists. So you're not even understanding the dichotomies you're trying to commit us to.
I do.
On
Well,
top
you're
of trying
telling
to
me I'm a
commit us,
theist. Yeah.
while
Yeah.
also trying to
I'm
commit
not
us to
trying-
extremism,
No, I don't
and
call-
then
I didn't call
rejecting
into
simple
attack. I just-
definitions for yourself.
I get what an atheist is. I'm telling
No, you don't.
People put me in that box because
You're
I'm
not in
not
our
a
box.
Christian. Well, I agree 100%. But I'm not.
And yet you've
I'm
been
not
arguing with me with my definitions,
But
and
no,
my definitions
but
are objectively
I'm
correct.
not a you put me in a. What did you say? I was a theist.
You are
I
a theist.
don't remember the. Okay, give me the definition of what a theist
A
is.
person who believes in at least one God.
No, I do not.
Yes,
don't.
you do. You said you believe in billions of gods.
I do not. I have not created a prophet that with a book.
I'm sorry, when did I say
don't.
prophet or book?
No,
I never said
well,
prophet or
that's
book. I
okay,
said
tell me
a
what
person,
theist is. Tell me
a
what it is.
person
I- maybe
who
I don't
believes,
understand.
a person,
Mhm.
so this in this case it would be you, who believes
Mhm.
in at least one God. Jennifer
I don't.
believes in billions of gods, therefore
But-
Jennifer is a theist.
I think.
Okay.
Jennifer? Can I? Let me ask
Yeah.
it to you this way: Do you this is exactly what we asked you earlier, and you said yes. Do you believe that any gods exist?
Okay, so the way you're questioning it, do I can look. I know that is a higher. I don't know if you call it a god. I think it's the language
Jennifer,
that we use.
wait, Jennifer.
I
This
know
is
I
just
didn't create
a yes or no.
myself.
This is a yes or no
well,
question. Do you believe
Yes, Jennifer,
that
your parents created
that any
you.
gods exist? Do you believe that any gods exist? Yes or no?
Do any gods exist? No, I don't.
You
So
don't
now
think
you're an
any gods
atheist.
exist?
Not in the
Earlier
way
you
of
said
what your
billions, now you're
definition
saying
would be as
zero.
One, but
Jennifer
I
is maybe
know
too
that I
dishonest or
did not
confused
create
to
myself.
engage.
I don't.
Your
know.
parents created you.
I don't.
So
I-
Jennifer,
look,
do you believe in
I
a
don't-
creator? Do you believe in a creator, a supernatural creator?
I believe in the universe. Yes, I know something created us. I know we did not create ourselves.
Your
That
parents.
I know,
think it
and I
was a
don't want
god?
to be.
Do you think
I
it
don't
was
know.
a god?
Can I? Okay, how do I define something that I don't know anything about? I don't know how this earth
I'm
was
not
created.
asking you to define
I was
it.
not there.
Jennifer,
Huh?
Jesus Christ.
I was not
I'm
there.
not asking you to define
and no other
it.
human being was there. So
Who cares?
to try to say that the earth was created in 6,000 years is ridiculous to me. To say that Jesus died and was born of a
Okay,
virgin.
Jennifer,
that don't make any sense to me.
Jennifer.
It doesn't.
Simple yes or no.
Right.
Simple yes or no. Please, a yes or no only. Do you exist in a state where you are convinced that at least one God exists somewhere in the universe?
No, I don't.
Then you are an atheist.
Well, I don't. See, I know atheists believe that. Please tell me. Maybe I don't understand what you believe in. Do you believe it's a God? Do you believe
no,
it's a higher
wait.
power?
Atheists don't believe in anything.
Atheists
Okay, so
only
you just
answer one
believe
question.
that-
You're suggesting that there are more beliefs. The thing that I just asked you is the only question atheism answers. If you answer the question, I am not, or if you are asked the question, are you convinced that a God exists somewhere? And you answer no,
No.
then you are an atheist. There is nothing else. Just like
Okay.
all brown-haired people don't have to have something in common, all people who wear
Right.
bell-bottom pants don't have to have more beliefs than that. Atheism
Okay,
only
okay.
answers no to you are not convinced that a God exists.
Okay, then I
It's
guess
like
I
saying-
am, and I'm fine with that. But if I don't want to argue with Christians. I have a family full of them. And,
Nobody
and
has
I
to ask
don't-
you to. Being an atheist doesn't mean you have to argue with anybody. They will want to
Yeah,
argue
well,
with
you have to
you
defend-
because your
they
atheism
want you
rejects
to
their
defend.
worldview. and their
Yes.
book tells them to
Yes.
argue with you. The Bible tells them to argue with
Okay.
you. But you being an atheist does not mean you have to go seek it out. In fact, Jennifer, and I mean this not in an insulting way, but as a person who is literally in charge of an organization that is set up to advocate for my values, which atheism is not one of them. Atheism is not a value, but as an atheist, all of my values are secular. I would actually ask you, Jennifer, based on our conversation, please don't go argue on atheists' behalf.
Okay, I won't. And
Just
and
live
that's something
peacefully.
well, exactly. That is what
Right.
I'm trying to do. But when I'm, family is good. You don't want to separate yourself from them. Getting
Not all,
together and
that is
being
not
an-
universally true.
No, it's not.
Your
Well, I guess I got
family
a
might
lot
be
to
good,
learn in my
Jennifer.
67
Your
years.
family might be
Right.
good. Mine was abusive, and it was important that I separate from my family.
Okay. Yes, you do feel like an outsider. You do feel like something's wrong with you, and you're always
Okay,
being
fuck you
told
too,
you're going
Jennifer.
to hell.
Why are you now being like an asshole about it?
Why?
Are you saying there's something wrong with me? You just said that I feel like something's wrong with me.
Right. I'm talking about me personally. No, I'm
Oh,
saying
I
me.
thought you said it feels like something's wrong with you. I was like, what the fuck is
Right.
the fuck is
it
this?
Does when
Okay,
you're
so
in a family.
you're saying
when you're
it
in a
makes
family,
you, the royal you,
Right.
feel like something is wrong with you. I thought you were saying in response to me saying I had to separate from my family that you think something's wrong with me, and I overreacted.
No,
Okay,
no.
Jennifer, you're saying when you don't believe, and this is the problem, Jennifer. You as an atheist have an option to embrace whoever you want, and you don't have to fight for atheism. The reason you feel othered
okay.
is because their Christianity demands you be othered. And yet you described atheism as an extreme on the other side of the coin, and that simply isn't
Yeah.
true.
Well, yes. Before, when I do listen to different podcasts with atheists, and I believe if it was one, I probably would, be going toward the atheists on their, on how they think. I've never ran into an atheist that is, and I haven't read. It's a lot of good things. I'm fine
Wait,
with
and
being
finish
an
that sentence.
atheist.
You haven't run into an atheist that is what?
No, I've never ran into one that, do some of the things that other, people that's with a denomination or that is a
Oh,
Christian
no,
or
they
Muslim
do.
or whatever.
Again,
Yeah,
the reason
I've
you
run
need to
into a lot
change
of
your
bad ones,
definition
what
is
I'm
you need
saying.
to
I
both
never ran into a
you need
bad
to lower
atheist,
your
is what I'm trying to
expectations
say.
of atheists to zero.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of terrible atheists, but it has nothing to do with their atheism. Christianity is an
Okay,
ideology.
got it.
So terrible Christians are often using their ideology to foundationally support how terrible they are. Atheists don't. Atheists don't do things in the name of what they don't believe in.
Okay, got it.
So there are atheists who are Nazis, and they're doing it in the name of being a bigoted, racist, patriarchal piece of shit, not atheism.
Okay.
Just like there are brown-haired Nazis, it has nothing to do with their brown hair, and it doesn't have anything to do with their atheism.
I see what you're saying.
Lower your
I
expectations of
understand
atheists
that.
to zero.
I will do
And
that.
never.
I will.
I never want you, Jennifer, to be listening to a podcast that isn't connected to our network and hear a person say they're an atheist and then assume that I have much in common with that person, because they could literally be the worst fucking person in the world. Stefan Molyneux is an atheist. Fuck that guy. He is a He is a racist piece of shit. And his atheism, I hope he does convert to Christianity, because I hate anybody being able to put a common label between the two of us, because I think it muddies the waters for people like you who don't have a clear understanding of what atheism is.
And I didn't until I spoke to the both of you, and I do appreciate you taking the time to explain, because I never called in. I never been able to talk to someone one-on-one to get a better understanding of it, and it's clear on what you're saying. And you're right. Just because you can go into the midst of Christians and don't have to defend who you are. Just be who you are. And you're right. I don't have to speak up for atheists. I don't, even if they call me that, and then I start like, oh Lord, I got to explain I'm not an atheist. But that's fine. I get it, because I don't believe in a God. And because I can't explain the beginning or the end of what it's going to be, or how it even started.
Yeah, you don't
and I
have to
think
have
we should.
you don't have to have answers at all. You don't owe the
Oh,
answers. They
okay.
owe answers for what they think. So I think you're in a great direction, Jennifer. I like this call. I wasn't sure where we were going in the beginning, but I like you.
Oh.
I
Well, thank you. I like the book.
I also think you
I
need
do.
you can have beliefs that are justified even if you can't claim to know. Like you're
Okay.
using a phone right now, right?
Right.
When you dialed our number, you believed the call would connect, right?
That's correct. Yes.
And you have justified reasons for that, but you can't explain to me how phones work, can you? Maybe you were a phone engineer. I don't know.
No, I'm not. No.
Where somehow your voice sounds like your voice and mine sounds like my voice to you, and somehow we're sending that over electricity. We shot a taser from my place to your place in Oklahoma, and the taser is carrying our voice in the sound that it's being made. The image of me roughly looks like what I look like in real life. All of these things are things we accept and believe, and to some degree know will work if everything is working well. And just because you don't know how it all started doesn't mean you can't have justified beliefs about what probably happened, and take beliefs about what you do know happens. You know what life was like before you were alive, right? Because it wasn't. You had no experiences. It wasn't even darkness. It was nothingness. So you know what it's like to not have a brain that's turned on, because it's just whatever's before your first memory. And it's reasonable to go, that's what it's going to be like after I die.
Right.
And my brain's off again.
Exactly. Okay. I'm going to do, you said you suggested not to listen to podcasts or different lectures.
No, you can listen to whatever you want. Just don't assume somebody's
Yeah.
like me because they're atheist.
Okay. I'm gonna open my mind again. I'm gonna start over. And
Okay.
I'm sure there's books, and I'm really interested in kind of opening up my mind and heart again on what it is. And if I am an atheist, I can say it. I mean, if someone asks me, I don't have to go and announce it to people. But it's all, people mainly pull the conversation. They want to assume you're something. Because of the way I carry myself. In Oklahoma, it is kind of the Bible Belt. But I think the way I carry myself at work, one guy came to me and said, "Oh, you're a very nice Christian." I didn't yell at him. I just felt that he felt that way because the norm is to, the certain ways that they carry themselves. But I'm sure, an atheist can do that too. And I just asked them, well, why are you assuming that that's what I am? I'm not. And so after that,
it sounds like you socially want a label that will get you out of trouble more often because you don't want to have the conversations. You're also an agnostic. You can be both. A lot of people don't understand that. The social word that people use to just get out of, because Christians misinterpret as agnostic as I'm open to it. I just, I'm just not there yet. And so you just say, if somebody asks you what you are, you just say, I'm a non-believer or I'm agnostic. And usually you get less. Non-believers actually probably not as good. Agnostic is the one that, if you're just trying to get on with your day and move along, be like, I'm agnostic, because they misinterpreted that to mean you're open to what they're saying too.
Jennifer, I'm gonna make a shameless plug real quick for myself, because we were talking about earlier my book that I just put out. It's called Gospel of Lies, but there's a whole chapter called The Angry Atheist, and I think you would actually really enjoy it. It's this whole conversation and more, and I make a case for there on why you should use that label, and I would be eager to hear your thoughts on it, because I wrote it with people like you in mind. So that's shameless plug.
Okay, how do I get your
and there's
book?
it's available anywhere you can get books. I think Barnes and Noble has it if you want to go to an actual store, or I think Target, Amazon has the digital copy if you want it on there, or Kindle or whatever it is. So, but it's called Gospel of Lies. Anyways, the chapter in there, The Angry Atheist, You can even start with that chapter, although the rest is an easy read. So,
Okay.
but
I think I'll do that.
It might be interesting to you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I think
Jennifer.
it sounds like it is. Yes.
Yeah, grab that book. Call back in when if you've read it and you've assessed it some. Promise is often here on Mondays, and she said she should be here more through the fall. She's got a couple of summer dates to take off. I know. I can hear you're disappointed. I'm disappointed too, but
I'll be back in August.
She'll be back a lot in August. Thank you, Jennifer.
Oh, okay. Thank you so very much for taking my call. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Jennifer. You too.
Bye-bye.
There were times that call frustrated me so much, and then times where I was like, okay, we're making progress. And then when I thought I'm too sensitive.
I know what you thought. And I was like, oh God.
I had an ex who would go into these like rage states, and one of the things she would like to say in her rage states was that I'm the reason I don't have a family. Like that was her monstrous thing to say. And so I'm like real sensitive to it, which I do have a family. Yeah. I just don't have my bio family. And that's not even totally true. I have a biological brother who I live near. It's part of why I chose to live where I live. He's awesome. I have two sisters who I talk to. One's still in the church, but is kind of a hippie Mormon. One's out. I have another brother who used to work for me. Him and I haven't talked as much since, we used to work together every day, but we'll check in every now and then. I still have bio family, but my parents are a no-go for me. I have 12 siblings. Half of them I don't talk to at all, especially the dead one. I thought that would make you uncomfortable.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, what do you talk to your dead siblings? I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
Oh my God.
I don't know that you have any dead siblings.
That makes me like, I don't know what to say to that.
I knocked on bamboo for you. So here's the fun fact. Before my sister died, I bet. Okay, I can't speak to when I was like from the anytime that I wasn't conscious as a human, anytime before 5, I can't speak to. But from 5 on, I bet all of the conversations I had with my sister prior to her death adds up to less than 12 hours. You and I have spoken more than my oldest sister and I ever spoke, by a lot.
That's sad.
You and I have probably, we used to do the cleaning thing when you lived in
I was about to say
America.
That's also not saying
that's like 2 phone calls for us. We literally used to be on the phone for like 6 hours while we were both cleaning our house.
While we were cleaning.
Yeah.
I miss those calls.
Yeah. And, my dead sister wants a relationship, she could call.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
Those are I feel like every time I see your place now, it's super pristine and clean. Though sometimes you'll point and be like, don't let them see the kitchen. It's a mess. And you'll point over there and I'll be like, where?
Bro.
Where is the mess? And you're like, well, that pan's still on the stove. That's where pans go.
If Yuka's listening, he's laughing because first of all, do you know I'm so messy? Like I'm very messy. You should see the desk right now.
Doubt it. I'm a clutter bug.
Jimmy, I'm
not
promise I'm
messy.
More messy than you. I promise I'm more messy than you. There are piles of clothes.
What do you think? What do you think?
Nothing is hanging in my closet right now. Everything's on the floor. I don't even want to send you a picture
let
of
Luthien
it. It's that
pipe
bad.
in. I'm cluttery. I don't gross mess. In fact, she doesn't gross mess either, but she's more likely to miss something that I would consider a gross mess than I am to miss something that she would. Like leaving out food with, like leaving overnight a bowl with something wet that could get smelly.
I'll totally do that.
That I don't ever do, but I'm a clutter bug for sure. I also have from work too much stuff, like too much stuff. And so I'm not a good system for keeping it. And the problem with people are about to diagnose me with ADHD. It's just my autism. I don't need ADHD. The problem with the thing I have about when people want to diagnose me with ADHD is the reasons why I don't have ADHD are the defining parts of my life and why I'm running this company and not just a host and why almost every other person who works here has ADHD. But anyway,
I don't think I do though.
I
think
a hard
I'm one of the rare
time
ones that doesn't.
keeping stuff away. I prefer to, so I like shelves where I can see where everything is. My problem is I could put something amazing inside a drawer that I want to use every day. And it's in the drawer now. It's gone.
No,
it doesn't
same.
exist.
I think that's a big part of why, like, I have my piles of clothes and I know like where the different outfits are in the levels of the pile of clothes.
Yeah.
And like everything's on my nightside table because if I put it in the drawer under the bed, I will never remember that it exists. And then I don't use the new like fancy eye mask thing that I got and it doesn't exist anymore. So
Savage Row, ADHD and autism have a high comorbidity rate though. Okay, Savage, here's the deal. I totally agree. And not only do they have comorbidity, they have things that overlap. I am fine with boredom. I can sit down and just do work and be fine. I do the accounting every month and I just sit down and I fill out field after field after field after field and I'm fine. I still procrastinate on some things. It's more about the like, how do I want to prioritize my time right now? I work so much with ADHD that while you guys are hearing me sound ableist because I don't want that label, what is actually happening is I would feel ableist taking that label when I work with these weirdos. Okay, that was ableist. But when I literally, all three producers have ADHD, and there is a staunch difference between how I work and operate than they are. And it is very clearly that the difference is something the three of them have in common and that I don't. And we've figured out the thing they and the other like 27 hosts. I don't know that Matt has ADHD, though him always playing chess and other games while he's also been doing it for 20 years. So that could be a neurotypical thing. I don't know. But
I don't think I do. I mean,
everybody
I have
who
OCD.
Works here has said they've been diagnosed with it. Yeah, OCD is a different
I'm for sure mentally ill, but not that one. I don't think.
Well, but OCD is also that I have health OCD.
I know it's a
it can be
neurodivergence or whatever.
Common comorbidity with autism. Mine's way better. When we first were talking about it a few years ago, when I was like isolated at home all the time, and I haven't checked my blood pressure. I was checking like all of my own vitals every day. There were some dark things happening a couple years ago. For those of you who are around, were like, Jimmy's not around.
You kind of had a reason for that. So
I was very sick, but how I was handling that got real dark, and my health OCD got like. Yeah, the thing is that I would have been too germaphobed out by scratching my skin off, but I feel like it was that level of like the type of people who scrub so much their skin comes off. But as soon as I would have seen the blood, I would be like, oh, now I have to wrap it and whatever. I don't know. It got real bad. So it's really tough to have autism and chronic illness, get really sick, them not have good ways to help it. The sickness have symptoms that are very alarming and always spike your cortisol response to extreme levels, and then have the health OCD. It was a dark time. And legitimately, I didn't get better through therapy. I got better because we started managing my symptoms and illness better. Like I worry that if I got just as sick tomorrow, I'd just be right back into a lot of it because it kind of was that I was doing therapy and it gave me some tools and stuff. But there are times where it just feels like no amount of therapy can stop you from feeling like shit when you're sick.
Right. When the fear is not completely unfounded, that's the worst for OCD, I think.
It's actual fear. Like I'm actually wasting away and dying, especially with how bad the sleep apnea got. When we got those results and the doctor was like, that if you don't treat it, you're in that zone where you don't live much longer. Like that's I was in the, I'm trying to remember what it was. I was waking up basically every minute subconsciously.
No, I remember.
Yeah.
That's when,
you wake up to breathe again. That's how bad
I don't know if you say it online, so I won't say it like what you ended up doing that fixed that problem.
CPAP, APAP.
But, okay, great.
And losing a bunch of weight.
My profile picture of you on my phone is the picture you sent me the day you got the machine of you wearing it.
It is not attractive. It's not.
It's a great photo. But I do remember like a week after you were like, this has changed my life already. Like that. It had helped so much so quickly.
so many people talked about not being able to adapt to it, and it being a person who has a lot of sensory autism, and I am an extremely light sleeper, like such a light sleeper, wake up to everything except for maybe in the last hour or two of sleep I get a little heavier in the night, but for the most of the night. And so I was so dreading it because I was like, people are talking about how it took them weeks or months to be able to do it. I took it off halfway through the first night and then never again. I've now lost enough weight that I don't need to wear it. I don't have a high burden, I think is the word. No, burden has to do with my palpitations. I don't have a high, whatever. I have a normal amount of, everybody gets some sleep apnea when they're older. There's a normal amount. At present, I monitor my oxygen and I don't need to have it. So it would actually be harder now, I bet, because my body isn't so dependent on it to get back on. But I was able to get on it quickly because my body immediately recognized, like, oh my God, you are so much better off right now. It's actually APAP now. It's called APAP. Some people have BiPAP, but APAP is what most people mean by CPAP anymore. And that's a machine that is adapting through the night, and it's helping you both breathe out and breathe in. And so like it pushes as you're inhaling, and then it lowers the pressure when you're exhaling, so it's not pushing air back against you. And it's good. It's good stuff. Anyway, that was not an ADHD rant. It was an autism rant. Quit projecting, you freaks. People with ADHD are not okay. I'm just chill. I'm kidding.
I was gonna say that we should do one of our like cleaning hang sessions, like where we would set up. We literally would just FaceTime each other, and we would just like have our phones just like sitting there while we were cleaning. And I was gonna say we should live stream that someday, and then I was like, absolutely no, we should not, because we would forget at some point that we're live streaming, and then the really just stupid
say
things
something awful.
Yeah, well, or just dumb in my case.
I was like, where are you going with this? Because I don't feel like I've ever shown you something on a video that
No, I'm saying like just we would say stupid, like,
yeah, one
of my really weird thoughts or something would come out, and then it would.
Oh wait, there was that one thing that happened, but I won't. Remember?
Oh my God.
We can't have that happen on air. That'll get the channel taken down.
That was actually my fault, though.
That can be prevented.
Honestly, I'm impressed that you
I forgot about
just now thought of that. Yeah.
And you're the second YouTuber creator friend that happened with. I told you that, right? It happened with Glenda also once.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. Okay. I'm in good company.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think you were more bothered by that than I was.
Well, because then I had the strange experience of going, and I asked it in the weirdest way. I wanted to know before I told you whether you'd want me to tell you that it had happened. Remember? And then I asked you.
Oh my God, you made it so weird. Way. You made it the weirdest thing that could have possibly we have to stop talking about it now. Anyways.
I think the reason why it was weird,
now it's too enticing,
but the reason why it was weird is I wanted to go with an example so extreme you obviously weren't worried that had just happened. So I gave an example of something that you wouldn't have been like, did that just happen? And so I wanted to, but that was still in the same zone. That's why it ended up there. Anyway.
Yeah, it just made it extra weird.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing the podcast so loud after this?
I thought she'd
That's
muted.
actually worse than if you shared what actually happened. I would never do that.
I must have by now, right? I feel like in the last couple of years, I'm like, from now on, my friends are going to know about my shits and my farts, and I'm going to destigmatize talking about our tummy issues, because more than like half the world now, at least if you believe, okay, it's probably more than half of the white world, it seems to be more of a problem amongst white people, has some sort of irritable bowel, because the rest of the world eats cleaner than us and like has a more diverse diet. White people, we're just like with the ultra processed foods, we're not putting enough fiber away and stuff. I don't know. I could be wrong though. I could also just be. It could just be white bias. I don't know if. Yeah, you're probably doing great.
Isn't this cute? It's this new drink that we found. It's Fiber Pop.
Fiber Pop. Anyways, what's the one you love, babe?
I bet it's Olipop or Poppy.
It's Olipop, yeah.
Olipop.
Yeah, this is the Finnish version of that. Are you guys doing the podcast in 30 minutes?
No, the podcast starts again this Thursday. Do you know about the big changes coming? We cut out the women.
Am I fired?
No, but we have kind of gotten rid of the women. So the new main hosts of the podcast are Jovan and I. Alyssa's going to try to join, I think, on Thursdays going forward. Nice. And then we'll have Monday slots for people. During weeks that you aren't able to do it, we're probably going to do the podcast on Mondays at mine and your show time, and then do a call-in show after. So we'll kind of switch them.
Makes
so
sense.
that we can kind of piss people off, and then
you're
callers.
being nice to me by doing it earlier when I can come back, so that I stay awake.
Swap it back
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will be back in August, because then we'll actually be in town and on schedule and everything. So.
But yeah, Jovan and I. First of all, like, not to be weird. Not very woke of me. Yeah, I cut out the women, but I replaced them with a black guy. If you want to start assessing what's more woke or not, look, okay, that's for you guys to figure out. And I'm queer, okay, which is basically a lady. That was wrong to say. Anyway, that's what the Christians believe. From their perspective, there's no difference. Anyway, Promise. I just saw Promise decide not to laugh at that, but think it was funny because she was worried she'd get scooped up in it.
That's a really great way to define what I'm trying not to do all the time. Not get scooped up in whatever it is that you're.
I don't want to get scooped up in this.
I don't want to get scooped up in that.
Anyway, so we'll be having a lot of people, but Jovan and I are clearly, amongst everybody here, we are the most creators by profession. And so we have the best available timing to do it, and also have most available creators by profession. Justin is fucking insane, and that dude is doing some shit, and I'm so glad he's on my team, because I don't have to worry about him as a competitor, because I'm like, if I hadn't reached out to him, would he have destroyed the line? Not on purpose, just he puts out such a good Justin's so good that I'm like, I become afraid of the alternate universe where Justin didn't join the line. I'm like, would we matter anymore? He's so good. Matt and Arden. Matt and I don't think would have the type of chemistry Jovan and I do to talk about the news. We agree a lot. People like the way Jovan and I roast each other, and they like our specific chemistry.
Your banter.
Yeah. Plus, too many people think Matt's my dad.
That's actually so cute.
Not necessarily literally, but in a lot of metaphorical ways.
Yeah, I know. That's really cute, though.
Anyway, so he and I already were talking about people want us to do non-call-in show stuff together because their chemistry's good and stuff. And then we started running into this issue of Alyssa's time has gotten a lot more complicated with her job. Your time's always been complicated. Him and I can uncomplicate and have a consistent product that also has
So I'm fired.
No, we always want 3 people. You're on it anytime you want to be on. Anytime you want to stay awake till 4 p.m. our time, because that's when it starts, 4 to 6 p.m. our time.
Oh, I'm just fired from the podcast. That's fine.
You're not even fired from the podcast. Okay, you just can't be there on time.
Do you like that I'm making it seem like it's your fault that I haven't been on the podcast?
Everything, as the thing I've learned working here at the line is everything is my fault, even when it's explicitly not.
It's actually not. It is.
If somebody
it's technically my fault, but it's also I would be doing it if it's the time change. That's really my only actual excuse, other than like the summertime traveling, because we are going to go on a couple of trips the next 2 weeks. Other than that, it is the time difference. And it makes me sad because
so many responses to something someone said in the comments. First of all, Forrest discrimination. Forrest is not Forrest is not a live creator by trade. He's an educator. He makes excellent stuff. He does not have the kind of time Jovan and I have. Jovan and I are spending. Jovan probably is the closest to working as much as I do on YouTube stuff.
Isn't Forrest working on his
except Justin, who is building his own kind of empire thing too. Justin's working a lot too, and then I think Justin has another job outside of it all. Forrest, I think, is working on another master's, maybe. It might be a PhD. But yeah, Forrest has school, so he can't do the daytime stuff. Forrest already contributes a lot to the line. I'm sure Forrest will show up to podcasts, but Javon and I are committing to most weeks 2 podcasts a week for 2 hours dedicated to the news, which requires researching and having the stories ready in advance.
And caring about it.
Yeah, giving a shit, which, by the way, is terrible.
I know. Honestly, that is the difficulty there. That's where you earn your whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is also why I can't do it, because my brain stops working at this time.
Dolan Banjo said, I bet Jimmy accidentally called Matt dad once. There are multiple reasons I need to respond to this. One, that is a thing you guys perceive. I do not perceive Matt as a father figure. First of all, he's not as old as you apparently think he is.
I don't know why people think that.
I mean, I don't know. He did have a triple bypass a couple years ago.
Somebody asked if Seth was my dad, so I didn't even tell Seth.
Y'all are ageist against bald people. You just assume all bald people are old. He does have a pretty gray Santa beard, and that's fair. But anyway, Matt's 56, I think, right? He's 20 years older than me. So conceivably, he could be my dad, but my own dad is 38 years older than me. Something like that. He's like 40 years older. My own dad's old as fuck. My own dad is in his 70s right now, which means he's at least double my age, because I think he's 72. So I think he's 36. I think. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. Hang on. No, he is 72. I think he was born in 54. My brain is warped right now. Oh, cool. Somebody's calling in. Yeah, my dad's 72. He's double my age. So already my perception of fathers and age difference is more. But here's the other thing. The other reason why I've never called Matt dad, I don't really call my own father dad. My quote unquote dad, I don't like that word, is not a word I use for people, because I haven't felt like I've had a father figure since my seminary teacher when I was 16, who would literally take me to father-son campouts. My own dad didn't. I was going with someone else's dad to father-son shit.
That's wild.
Anyway, we do have a last call.
Also, I live in Finland. People were asking.
Well, Matt's in chat. Matt, it might not be your fault.
What if you said dad?
Matt, it could be that whatever... Shit. One day we're going to be with him and like Dalton, and I'm going to try to say Dalton and Matt at the same time, and it's going to go out dad.
And you're going to say dad.
I'm going to say dad, and people are going to be like, he did it. Matt, it might be my fault they're thinking you're older, because they think I'm your son, and I'm clearly old as fuck. I was aging so gracefully until like 32. I am now aging 4 years per year. I feel I am looking at myself and I am going, my forehead is sloping and my overbite is running ahead of me. It is problem. My jaw is either withdrawing or my overbite is this thing. In the video that I put on Instagram, it got a little bit stretched by being in the side third, and it looks like you could ski off of it. I am aging so poorly now. Guys, I'm only 36. I'm not 50. Anyway.
I feel self-conscious about my forehead now.
You have a lovely forehead. So okay, turn to the side.
So do you.
No, I don't.
No, because now I'm upset about it.
Look at this.
Can we take the call?
Yeah, let's take the call.
Okay.
I'm exhausted talking about that. Bill in Washington, you're on the line with Jimmy and Promise. How are you, Bill?
How are you, folks? I want to let you know I've got many years on you, and while youth is often wasted on the young, wisdom is wasted on the old. I'll tell you that.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I want to tell you that, like, I can agree with y'all up to a point. Like, I can say, like, pretty much after the Second Great Awakening, I'm really not a fan of Christianity after the Second Great Awakening, but I like a lot of the, like, older institutions. They seem to be pretty, reformable and they seem to be more reflective of the societies that they are a part of,
The
like
the
more
ones that were
more
colonizing people and just like absolutely brutally taking over societies and at knife point causing conversions and stuff.
if it wasn't Christianity, it would be any other religion. Like look
Then
at
they're
it in
all
like a
shitty.
Yeah, Bill, we don't care for the other religions either.
you're looking at it in any other lens. It's it doesn't
No,
matter
not
what
any other
religion it
lens.
is.
You said religion. If we lived in a secular humanist world where that was the mainly adopted moral philosophy, easy to hypothesize that world would be tremendously superior. But when you say religions, as in systems of worship, use of faith, God worship, all that kind of stuff, systems of worship of gods, of deities.
Of oppression, yeah. Like societies have always had hierarchies of oppression, and that's
right.
like,
So
people have used
Bill,
religion
you're talking to
and will
us.
always use religion for
I'm
it.
a secular humanist socialist. So even when you're saying hierarchies of oppression, I don't even want those for my government. I don't even want those for my economy. I am economically doing better than most of the people I graduated with, and I would like to equalize our economic situations, even though that could I'm not rich, so it may not actually make my life terribly worse, but in theory, if it required me to lower my economic situation to bring them up, it would. So Bill, Christianity, when you're describing that there are elements of Christianity that isn't bad, here's the perfect demonstration, I think, Bill. You look out and you're looking at Christianity and you see some that are good and some that are bad. What are you using to determine which ones are good and which ones are bad? I suspect the answer isn't Christianity itself. So if you aren't using Christianity to decide which Christianity is good and which one's bad, what mechanism are you using to judge them?
Well, to start off with, I'm a Quaker. We believe in
Active?
silence within self, and I'm very, very close to being very secular humanist myself. I identify as a deist Christian, but I'm very much in line with a lot of secular humanist beliefs. But within my personal faith, it is still a Christian faith, but it is through a kind of iconoclasm of
Faith of what?
institutionalism itself.
When you say it's
What's
still
that?
a faith, what is your faith put in?
I still identify as a Christian, as a Quaker, like my
Right, but so
ethos
now
is
so does
Quakerism.
Richard Dawkins, who's an atheist. So when you say you have faith,
Yeah.
are you using it in the
my
colloquial
ethos
just
is
to describe?
Quakerism. I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay, and you believe Jesus existed and was resurrected for our sins, or that's more of a story?
That is my personal faith. Yes, that is my
Okay.
personal faith. But like I said, I am a Quaker, so there isn't necessarily anything that's truly doctrinal or things like that. It's more of a consensus.
What about the
that
words
we
ascribed
agree
to
upon
Jesus in the
with
Bible?
silence.
Do you believe that
What's
when
that?
Jesus spoke words in the Bible, those words resemble truth?
I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah. I believe that for me
Okay.
personally, yes.
Good enough. Then from our perspective and what we're trying to evaluate, that which is true. And then for morality, we believe in secular humanism because it is the most defensible moral system. Even your version of Christianity would be bad because the verses like
Yeah, I'm
the
not
one we read
opposed to my
earlier,
belief
if
on
anyone
any of
comes to
that.
me and does not, phrases like, if anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. Verses about whether or not.
That was the
I'm sorry,
entire
what?
point of that was the entire point of the woman that was brought forward in sin. That was the entire point of why the Pharisees brought her forward. It was saying no one. Like that was the whole point of it, is like
No one what?
we're trying to say that these moral judgments here, no one is. It's like saying, why are we doing one thing to another? Like,
You don't get to
what
take
I'm
one
saying
verse
is that
and let
these
God and Jesus off
I'm
the
not-
hook for the rest of the book, because he who has the authority of God showed mercy to a single woman doesn't mean he's off the hook for all of the slavery that was ongoing. biblical slavery, yes, we're talking about servitude, chattel slavery, but also biblical marriage is also an institution of slavery. He doesn't get off the hook because he showed the one lady.
Are you familiar with Quakerism? Very much, like the very early on anti-slavery, like we've very much been at the forefront of like abolition from our very
right. I
forefront.
already, Bill, I said to an earlier caller, the more that you divert from the tradition of Christianity, the lower you are on my list of a high priority to change your mind.
The point that I'm getting at here is that
Bill, you really do talk over me a lot.
But you realize I'm trying to say that not everything here is ordinate and doctrinal. The whole thing that I said from the very beginning is all this second great awakening, capitalism, Christianity bullshit, reform to talk about numbers and all this, that, and the other, money.
All right.
Yeah,
if we're going to get this myopic about things and we're going to get this pedantic, we're going to do it. So here's the first question then. Bill, is it a bad thing for a person to believe something that isn't true?
Oh, you have to define truth. Are we talking objective truth, subjective truth? Like you get into a linguistic quagmire there.
Conforming with reality.
Objective, subjective.
Nope, there's no need for objective or subjective. You are now trying to, either you don't understand the dialogue tree that you're trying to go through, or you don't understand the words I just said. The definition I just gave you establishes objective versus subjective. So the definition of true is conforming with reality.
The entire point of them bringing that woman
better or worse? Nope, you're not going to ignore my question, Bill. Bill, you are ignoring my question, and now you're being a dishonest interlocutor, and it's pissing me off. You can either engage the actual conversation. You are not going to get to proselytize, Bill. Going and telling the story of the woman does not answer my question. Is it a good thing or a bad thing for a person to believe that which is untrue?
Okay, hold on. Let's go back.
No, done.
The reason why
that sound was me hanging up. I'm done. I'm done. If you're not going to answer the actual questions asked of you, you get your chance. You get your opportunity to come in and tell us what your position is, but you have to answer questions. And so, Ash, Jimmy, you're not categorizing Quakerism correctly. He has every right to correct your straw manning. Okay, Ash, call in and explain to me what I straw manned, because I never represented his Christianity. I never said his Christianity was a certain way. In fact, what I did was ask, does he believe Jesus Christ came to earth and was resurrected for our sins? Then I asked him, does he believe the words ascribed to Jesus Christ are true? And he said yes. Those are the only things I worked with. So, Ash, you are welcome now to call. The phone number is 336-543-2101, and I will need you to explain to me very precisely the moment of my straw manning. Luthien, are we going to try and get that last call screened?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
If you wouldn't mind. I have no patience for I'm not going to actually answer my questions. The questions actually asked of me. And there's no version of, is it bad or good for a person to believe that which is untrue? Because we're not talking now about, and he wanted to be so pedantic. Go ahead.
And Quake, like there's some super cool things about Quakers, and it is the things that make them better despite their faith.
Right.
So it's not like you pointed out in the earlier call, we could have all of the good parts, all of the progressive things. They have done amazing things despite their faith, not because of it. They've had to cherry pick which parts. And at that point, it becomes ridiculous for you to call in and want to defend a faith that you're basically saying, here's these things that I do that secular humanism advocates for, but with some added on bullshit that's not necessary. And I want to defend that part. So then we have to look at the bullshit because we need you to back that part, because what do we care about the parts that we already have without the bullshit? Anyways, I don't understand those calls. I think those are just proselytizers, I guess, because why you're not calling in for debate, which is fine, but then why are you calling?
I notice Ash isn't calling in to queue up. You're here to accuse me of straw manning. You've not put the straw man in the comments, nor are you calling in to tell me what it was. What could have even been the straw manning? Legitimately, I asked him questions to specify. I never said any answer he gives now represents Quakerism in total. He kept wanting to go, so you don't understand Quakerism. I don't care whether I understand Quakerism or not. And you wanting to describe theology of, well, this is the point of the thing in the Bible. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Vindaloo, this is a mischaracterization of Quakerism. What is? I never characterized it. He described Quakerism as being this spectrum. And so I asked him, does he believe Jesus Christ Jesus Christ came to earth and died for our sins? I wish he would. Does he believe he died for our sins? And he said, yes. Does he believe that the words ascribed to Jesus are true? He said, yes. At no point did I go, therefore, this is Quakerism, therefore, blah, blah, blah. I engaged with his part of it. And so I would just really love, Dylan, you're cool. I was misunderstanding where you were at. Forgive me for misunderstanding you. Dylan, I didn't even notice that you misunderstood me. I get as annoyed with people like him who wouldn't answer the questions. Is it bad for a person to believe something that is not true? Refusal to answer. Won't answer it. Wants to go off on stories. Somehow thinks this is the point of the woman at the well. We're not even talking about Christianity at this point. Answer that question. My follow-up was going to be, since you're getting so myopic, since you're getting so pedantic, then we're simply going to go with, is what you claimed earlier true? You believe, as you said earlier, that Jesus Christ did come to the earth and die for our sins. How do you prove that was true? Oh, Dylan was the one on the phone. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Dylan. You were asked questions and you were ignoring them. Conservative non-believer, I don't even have the fucking... What do you mean by bad? This is the way people who have dumb things... Literally, the way people who have dumb positions then try to argue. It's just like the people who, when you question their religion, they go, well, how do we know anything's true? You have such arrogance of position that you're now going to escape the reasonable use of language. You're now going to get myopic about that. What do you mean by bad? Non-preferable. Less beneficial. Non-beneficial. Detrimental. Well, what do you mean by detrimental? And what do you mean by God? And what do you mean by is?
You know who
and what do you mean by
blame
that?
Jordan Peterson for this.
And you guys are still doing the Jordan Peterson shit, despite the fact that now we know he had the reason he was talking like that was decades of black mold exposure, and he's literally sitting in a fucking crazy town right now. The dude's probably got his sleeves stitched to his sides. The dude is literally in brainfuck Kansas now. That's a location. Have you guys not heard the update? The reason he was talking that way, the reason he was the way he was, turned out to be decades of black mold exposure, and you guys fell for a charisma that came with it because, let's be honest, you don't like trans people, and you thought the confusing way that he phrased things successfully hurt trans people like you want to do. Fucking Jordan Peterson, who absolutely is just a nightmare. Bill's trying to call back. Oh, man. Let's find out. I'll bring Bill back on.
I got a short amount of time left.
A couple more minutes left. Yeah.
Couple minutes.
Couple minutes. Couple. We'll do our best with it. Yeah, she's gonna put his screening notes back on. I should definitely add to the tool the ability to pull back up the previous screening stuff. By the way, this tool that you're using, I built it. I mean, with Claude Code, but I built it.
No, I know. That's amazing.
It's cool.
It's very cool. I'm sorry that I am terrible at tech.
You know what? VG archaeologist, I don't even agree with you. Jordan Peterson is getting the life he deserves. It turns out this has been decades of exposure. And I actually said in the past, I got shit for this actually in the past, that Jordan Peterson's transphobia seems to be more than just transphobic brain rot. I said for years, something happened to him and he went crazy. And I got so much shit for it. So much shit. Legitimately, I called that the man went nuts long before we found out he went nuts. Am I an oracle? Who am I to say? But that legitimately there was something more happening. I hate what Jordan Peterson as a crazy person successfully did. But it's hard to feel like he deserves now to be in this state when it was society failed to not make a crazy person king who was already suffering from that affliction. And so who do we blame? I don't know. Matt took him down several notches. Their debate disillusioned a lot of people with Jordan Peterson's bullshit, because there were a lot of atheists who liked Jordan Peterson until they heard Jordan Peterson defend theism and attack atheism with the same bullshit methods he was attacking trans people. And that popped a lot of, as somebody else in chat put, it popped a lot of cherries where it was like, oh, fuck, is he an idiot? Is he an idiot with a tall vocabulary? And so it's hard because he was fucking nuts before all of it. And it's kind of like, man, his illness was fame. Black mold just helped it along. The black mold existed before his fame and his descent. Nobody takes, I can't say nobody, but I feel it is hard to be healthy when you become popular, when you get a platform, that it is a very big struggle to adapt to that and do so in a healthy way. And I think everybody who went from a nobody to a in quotes, nobody to a somebody as a public figure, have lots of examples of unhealthy ways they reacted to it. And I think his poison, the man apparently used to be a very capable psychiatrist or whatever, psychologist, whatever. And now it like went from that to losing his license and shit in Canada and having to have education refreshed in areas that you are failing, comparing it to like Holocaust re-education. The man was fucking nuts. Well, Bill left. I guess he was not interested. What does the raise hand mean? They added a raise hand button. I clicked it. I don't know what it means in Collins Studio. Bill had called and then just hung right back up. We'll just leave it then. I don't care. I still had the deal. Jimmy Y, give examples. Give examples of what? Stress, paranoia, what? Give examples of how you handle it poorly. For me, there were definitely ego issues and prioritization of home life. When I started doing like even woodworking more, I could feel I was like purging something. When you live obsessively online and obsessed with the following that you're getting, also the quality of my content got better for the consumer and ate my fucking, for lack of a better word, soul. Because I started chasing an algorithm and started chasing that which would do well and had to put that a high priority over the things I was passionate about. And then also with the things that I was passionate about, figure out what to take from the things that did well and put that into there, which would often even morph those into not being what I thought they should be. People now trying to call in when you've got to go. We'll see what they screen, and if they look good, I'll probably let you go and take them solo, but we will cap calls so that more don't come in after. But we'll let Luthien screen them, and maybe I'll take them solo. It becomes very, very unhealthy. Ego, not necessarily in ways, I wasn't like thinking I was necessarily better than other people, because I always feel that way. Like better in certain ways. Like I'm better at, well, look, you laugh, but I don't mean like a broad better than. I am better at organization than 90% of the people who work here. Right? Like I'm also, believe it or not, and a lot of you won't believe it, because the only way you see this is in the context of debate. I am probably more patient than most people you know. I give people
I would say
more
you're
chances.
extremely patient. Yeah.
People who absolutely fuck me over or just are inconsiderate, I give more chances, and I don't show frustration easily with
You're
people
very
I care about.
empathetic in your
Thank you.
interactions.
And so I know what my strengths are. I also know what my weaknesses are.
Which is why you only eat 3 foods.
Sure. No, I have tremendous trust issues. I experience an expectation that everybody will at some point fuck me over. Like it's just a thing that always exists in my world. I can accidentally be condescending when I don't mean to be, legitimately. I can, and I can't control my face sometimes. So sometimes people know that I think what they said was terribly dumb and shocking that they were that dumb, and it can hurt their feelings.
This is why I sound defensive 70% of the time that I'm talking to you.
You don't say dumb things 70% of the time.
I don't know. Your face says that you think otherwise.
So you're seeing that face even when the face isn't there.
Maybe I just have like PTSD from the few times that I have or something. And so I'm just like seeing it all the time.
I have poor self-awareness in specific areas and too much self-awareness in other areas. I'm very poor self-awareness regarding how much exposition I think something needs. And I think nobody would disagree with that.
Nobody on this screen right now.
Nor am I able to, and within the audience, nor do I feel like I can. Sometimes my long exposition is like, I'm not going to be ready to engage with the next part until I've gotten it all out. That's an autism thing, though. That's for sure. Another people, like, it's legitimately the way I've seen people speculate in like rooms of what I must be like to, like online spaces, what I must be like to date, when even the people who I've had bad breakups with would laugh at the descriptions of, like, people expect that I'm mean and that I pick fights and argue and I yell and whatever. I literally don't ever fucking yell. Legitimately, what other people's threshold for acceptable, like, ways, tones to use and stuff, mine's way lower. And I'm way more likely to be like, why are we at that tone right now? That's crazy. What are we doing? Than to meet it myself. So, I don't know. Anyway. I'm a piece of shit, but I'm doing my best.
Do I have to list all of my failures now?
I would prefer it, yeah.
Okay. Well, mostly it's that I get really tired.
Do you know what's funny?
Easily.
If somebody was like, what flaw? If you had to
Stop.
answer like a flaw of mine that frustrates you, what would you do? I promise you can't hurt my feelings, because I probably agree with what
No, I know.
is.
I'm trying to actually think what I would legitimately say.
Someone said he just needs a cuddle. I get lots of cuddles. You guys would probably be surprised at how physically affectionate I am with only my partner. Otherwise, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
People touch me way too much.
I think that my frustration is very niche to our friendship, though. I don't like when certain things get said online just because I get uncomfortable and awkward.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest thing, is that sometimes I feel
Do you know what's funny is we probably have the same feeling for each other. you wish I
That's
would
terrible.
remember to tighten up when you're around, and I wish you would lighten up when you're around. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like we have the opposing thing.
That's so
Where I'm just
terrible.
like, you gotta.
Yeah, that's probably why we both feel that way too, because I'm probably like constantly dimming in order to hope that it makes you
Yeah,
less visible.
that's so funny. I feel like the example I was going to give, if you asked me for one back, is such an encapsulation of that. It would make me feel closer if Promise would admit she poops, but she never will.
Then I'd be lying, so can't do it.
But I'd feel that way about Forrest too. Well, Forrest admits he poops. We talk about poops, but he won't fart in front of his wife. Just
Wow.
do it. Just fart in front of her, man.
No, I
know.
respect that.
I know
respect
you
that
do.
a lot.
I know you do. We had like a whole, there was like inner wars on the line. It was like a few of us versus you, Matt, and Forrest. You guys are on a team
I
together.
was in a war?
Well,
What?
you're just on their side.
No, I never said yes to that.
You're on the height. They're on the. I don't fart. I hide the farts. They're on the hide farts rule outside.
I don't hide anything. I just don't participate
Right,
in
you
those
don't
kinds of
fart.
activities.
Right.
So I am in my own category. I will not be put on some
So you
other
actually
thing.
think you're better than Forrest and Matt. They're just hiding their
For
farts.
sure.
You actually
sure.
don't fart.
Correct.
They aspire to be you.
Correct.
Anyway, women don't poop. That's great. Do you know, legitimately, I'm not mad at anybody for it. I'm not mad at Promise.
This is going to
for
make
it.
me uncomfortable. I can already
No,
tell.
I'm not going to describe poops. But somebody in the chat said women don't poop. I actually think we are doing tremendous harm by normalizing that joke into an expectation that a lot of people are harmed by not being able to talk about their guts. And we have raised, do you guys know that young people are getting colon cancer at crazy rates?
Yeah, that is wild. Like
Irritable
really
bowel
insane
syndrome,
rates.
bile acid malabsorption, Crohn's disease. All of these things are tremendously on the rise. Celiac disease. Like most of you watching, I probably just named one of your problems. The majority of you will have had one of those, and a bunch of you will think you just have IBS and you actually have bile acid malabsorption. If you
Jimmy's
have
gonna start
diarrhea,
a
there's a good chance you have
stomach
chronic diarrhea. There's a good chance you have bile acid malabsorption, not IBS. And you should look into that, and you should look up a medication. It's called a medicine. Comes in a little pack like this, called cholestyramine, and it is a powdered resin that will neutralize and solidify your bile, the stuff that gets into your lower colon, so it doesn't agitate you and you won't have diarrhea anymore. Anyway, I actually think and so that would be the thing I want you to lighten about,
Here's
and you're
the
like,
thing,
and I want you to tighten up.
Yeah, because I have a response to that
Yeah.
offline.
Oh yeah.
That's the difference between us.
Oh
I
my
think.
God, she just
Well,
sent
I'm
me a
not-
picture of her shit. No, I'm just kidding. She would never. I'm sorry, that was too far. That was an example of things she
This
wishes
is
I
exactly
wouldn't
what I'm
say
talking about.
online. Oh
Yeah,
man, it came out before I thought to.
You are
Regulate.
skilled as a like persona. And I'm not saying you have a persona. I think you're very genuine and stuff. I am not. I'm awkward
I have
and
a
like
super persona.
introverted, and so the way that I function is by like I'm probably so different in person than or like as a friend, which
You
I
need
guess
to
you would
change
know,
all
than
of
how
your
I come online.
expectations. Luthien, you know me very well. Do you suspect I or Promise are more introverted offline?
No. I'm not. I know that about you. I'm talking about
I was
for
gonna
other
say,
people.
this is the weirdest
I think you and I
contrast
know.
I've ever
No.
heard
You
of.
and I know how we are. I'm talking about other people's perception. So,
Yeah.
like, I can be a certain way with a close friend, but to me, it feels extroverted being online and having those kinds of conversations. And
I'm
things.
exhausted talking to
and
the
then-
mailman.
And then, yeah, no, for
Too
sure.
much social. I got to go take 4 days off of people.
Well, and then people think that I'm mad at you because I think that you did something wrong. That's not what's happening at all. I'm upset with myself because I'm not chill.
Well,
And
you
I'm
can
not,
be
as
mad
Jimmy,
though too of
so
like,
as Jimmy so eloquently put it, I'm not lightening up, and I know that, and I don't like it, but also I don't care.
you're still
So
allowed to be
that's why I
mad
do it.
at me. It's not it's not invalid to go like, he said something that made me uncomfortable. whether or not it should have made me uncomfortable, he could have been more thoughtful and recognized that before leaning into it. Then his defensiveness, he got defensive and leaned into it more. And so I am mad at
Jimmy's giving us friendship
how
therapy
less
now.
priority my feelings took to his defensiveness. That's totally a legitimate way to feel, even if that doesn't mean either of us have to sit there and be like, you were a real bitch to me. You know, you would say
Yeah, I
that to
think
me.
that's
I would
why
never say
I
that
would-
to you.
Yeah.
You should.
That-
I would never call you a bitch. I would only call men bitches.
Yeah, fair enough. No,
Yeah.
well, that's the reason why I wouldn't even be mad, is because I know that we can have those kind of conversations. If you were the type of person where I couldn't have those conversations with you, then I think it would upset me. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Because
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
kind of
for
just
sure.
have I'm like, if I said, hey, that bothered me, Jimmy would be like, oh shit, sorry. And that would be that. So then I just have that conversation with myself a lot.
This is like I've talked about this before with there is something interesting where like people will let me clear these so that we're not getting people trying to call in. I feel terrible even when I do things that I didn't mean to. And I think that's fine too. And it's fine to be mad at, okay, if somebody carelessly, not maliciously, left their foot somewhere that you tripped over and hurt yourself, it's a legitimate way to feel negative about them. And the person who left their foot there, I did not mean to, didn't think about it, didn't see the signs that that was a bad place for my foot. And yet I feel terrible that my foot is why you are hurt there. And I feel bad about the feelings toward. But it's truly a situation where like fault can't be perfectly assigned. Nobody can be, because it's kind of just ways the world is and ways you are. And
Yeah,
I use
it's
that metaphor
dynamics.
for autism a lot, where autistic people will constantly be apologizing for accidentally putting their foot somewhere they didn't mean to.
Right.
Frankly, even if you like, it almost would be more like you have a disability that forces your foot to be there and it hurts somebody, and yet you still feel terribly guilty. Yeah, it's the case. You know, it is what it is. Jimmy loves to hear himself talk. Unlistenable. I'm a atheist. I have a feeling this person just joined the chat. But I have a terrible revelation for you. One, you're on the channel that bears my name. And Lewis, I don't know if you want to use the phrase hear himself talk, because in a literal way, that's not true. I, for example, hate editing my own videos because literally hearing myself talk is awful to me. I love to be listened to. I love to communicate, and I have terrible news for you. Every single creator that you consume has the same trait. The only people who become communicators are people who either like to communicate or believe that their communication has value and that therefore that they must do so. And I would describe myself as both.
It's kind of like you can't.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go ahead.
No, I want you to.
I was going to say
What can't
something
I do?
dumb. No, I was going to say it's kind of like you can't be president of the United States and not be a narcissist, because you
Totally.
think that you could be president of the United States. So it's like
there is probably an amount of ego many people would consider a character flaw in every influencer. Because at some point we went, the way I present information is so important, I need to make this world level distributable. It wouldn't be enough to just try and influence my local community. It wouldn't be enough to, I need the world to have a shot at hearing this, at seeing this, at doing this. Like, all of us have to have that in common. Why would you come to the Jimmy Snow channel?
why did you emphasize that word so much?
Come? See, I did not mean, why would you come in? Literally, the person just came in to talk shit. I don't even think they're listening to this stream. Listen back to this. Jimmy talks, Jimmy interrupts. Jimmy talks, Jimmy interrupts. Fuck this. Lewis, go. Like, legitimately. Go. And don't come back. I don't want you here.
That's my favorite thing is I've been getting so many comments lately. Well, I have a video that's going viral, so it gets a bunch of like crazies in there that are new to my stuff. And so I'm just getting this comment of like, wow, you're trying to shove your atheism down our throats. You watched my video. You came to my Instagram.
Right.
Like, I've never knocked on anyone's door. I don't put up billboards. Somebody said I'm trying to shove my book
We
in
are
their
going to put up
faces
billboards, but billboards
because
are
it's been, well, that's
billboards
great.
are marketing.
I mean, I'm just saying I haven't.
Yeah, we will. And I'm
Anyways.
putting you on them.
Okay, great.
It's
Thanks.
going to
That
be a
makes
you
me
and I back to
actually
back.
die.
Though that's going to be crazy because of the
That's
height
cute.
differential.
Can it be
We're
like
gonna get a
Megan
stool.
and Ashley? Like It Takes Two.
We're
and
going to need
Megan
a
and Ashley
double
style?
apple box. We're going to Charlie's Angel it with Javon.
I don't think people understand that I'm short. People keep thinking I'm tall.
People think I'm short, though.
You're super tall.
I know.
Okay.
But they don't believe it.
Anyways, I hope that messes with everyone's perception of us when they hear that I'm short and you're tall. I have to go to bed.
Yeah.
Are you taking those calls?
No. We're just chatting
Oh.
now. We're just hanging out.
Oh, great.
Anyway,
I
to that
could just
person in
keep hanging
chat
out.
who is so upset that I talk. And by the way, we now have so many examples of people who call in and engage honestly. And we even have examples of people who call in. At first, they aren't engaging honestly, and then they come around to it and they have a better time. To some degree, that happened with, was her name Rebecca, who called earlier? Jasmine.
Jennifer?
Jennifer. I just
Okay.
don't hold on to the calls. To some degree, that happened. We have plenty of examples. It's legitimately that we have people who call in. Like, just go find the time I interrupted somebody acting in good faith. Go find the time I interrupted somebody answering the questions asked. Go find the time I interrupted somebody willy-nilly to just stop them from participating.
Willy-nilly.
And that they weren't going long-winded about something else. Go find it. You will find I am very consistent. And if you're going to call in, expect that consistency. We let people talk a lot if they just engage honestly. Anyway, to that person who is whining in chat, who's probably just one of the callers from earlier who's upset. It is very funny how often, too, the people who will be like, hey, you just interrupt and talk over. It'll always be people who do it more that bring it up the most. That like interrupt every sentence you say, never let you finish a sentence. Wow, you guys are just never going to let me finish. Like, are you joking? We need to set up a DVR system and have somebody in the background just marking those moments. So as soon as that comes up, we can literally just play the tapes back. Here's the last sentence that I tried to speak. Let me know what happens to it.
Like an episode of Arrested Development where we just like cut back to.
Yeah.
In fact, they had been interrupting the entire time. Okay.
Man. There's always money in the banana stand. Bye, everybody.